The history of war is usually told through the clash of armies and the sacrifice of soldiers. But hidden within it are stories that defy expectation. Alongside men in the trenches and on the battlefields marched a forgotten legion of heroes, animals whose loyalty and courage knew no limits. These weren't fighters bound by ideology or rank, but companions who risked everything for the humans they loved. From a bear that carried ammunition under fire to a pig that literally defected from the enemy. Today, we uncover the top 10 animal heroes of history you've never heard of, and their unbelievable acts of valor will leave you stunned. At number 1, we have the extraordinary tale of Judy, the English pointer, whose journey from a ship's mascot to a registered prisoner of war is one of the most remarkable animal hero stories in history. Judy first served aboard the British gunboat HMS Grasshopper during World War II, where her keen instincts and companionship endeared her to the sailors. But her destiny took a dramatic turn in 1942 when the vessel was bombed and sunk by Japanese forces, leaving the surviving crew stranded on a deserted island with little hope of survival. While despair loomed, Judy began digging in the sand and miraculously uncovered a freshwater spring, a discovery that saved countless lives. Later, she endured the horrors of a Japanese POW camp in Sumatra alongside captured soldiers, where she became a guardian angel for the men. Judy barked warnings about crocodiles, poisonous snakes, and even tigers. And she would fearlessly confront abusive guards, often putting herself in danger. It was here that she bonded with leading aircraftman Frank Williams, who shared his precious food rations with her and later described Judy as his sole reason to live. Recognizing her importance, Williams persuaded the camp commandant to register Judy officially as prisoner of war 81A, making her the only dog in history to ever hold such a title. Smuggled out in a rice sack after the war, Judy was joyfully reunited with Williams, her loyal companion. Her courage, loyalty, and survival instincts prove that even in the darkest corners of human conflict, the light of hope can come from the unlikeliest of heroes, an animal whose bravery rivaled that of any soldier. Coming in at number 2, we have the legendary story of Wojtek, a Syrian brown bear who fought alongside Polish soldiers during World War II. Found as a cub in Iran in 1942, Wojtek was adopted by members of the Polish Second Corps, who were marching westward to join the Allied forces. The soldiers treated him as more than a mascot. They shared their rations, taught him how to eat and drink like a human, and even engaged him in playful wrestling matches. Over time, Wojtek became so integrated into the unit that when the troops needed to board a British ship, they officially enlisted him as a private, complete with a paybook, rank, and serial number. But his fame was cemented during the grueling Battle of Monte Cassino in Italy, one of the bloodiest campaigns of the war. Under constant enemy fire, Wojtek carried heavy artillery shells from supply trucks to the front lines, a task requiring both strength and composure. This wasn't a trained trick, but an instinctive act of solidarity as, though he truly understood the plight of his comrades, the sight of a massive bear hauling ammunition lifted the spirits of exhausted soldiers, turning Wojtek into a living symbol of endurance and courage. His contributions were so valued that the unit later adopted an insignia featuring a bear carrying an artillery shell, ensuring his legacy was permanently etched into their history. After the war, Wojtek retired to Edinburgh Zoo, where veterans often visited him, reminiscing about their unlikely brother-in-arms. Wojtek's journey reflects not only the resilience of soldiers, but also how loyalty and bravery can transcend species, proving that heroes can come in the most unexpected forms. Number 3, we encounter the daring tale of Chips, a German Shepherd Collie Husky mix who became one of the most famous war dogs of World War II. Originally a beloved family pet from Pleasantville, New York, Chips was donated to the U.S. Army's Dogs for Defense program in 1942. Trained as a sentry dog, he quickly distinguished himself on the front lines of North Africa, Italy, France, and Germany. His most legendary act occurred during Operation Husky in Sicily, when his platoon came under heavy fire from a hidden Italian machine gun nest. Without hesitation, Chips broke free from his handler, charged into the bunker, and attacked the enemy soldiers inside. The ferocity of his assault forced the surrender of 4 enemy troops, effectively neutralizing a deadly threat that had pinned down American soldiers. For this incredible bravery, Chips was initially awarded the Distinguished Service Cross, Silver Star, and Purple Heart, making him the most decorated canine of the war. However, His triumph was short-lived. High-ranking officials argued that military decorations were intended only for humans, not animals, and ultimately rescinded all of his awards after a heated congressional debate. Despite this bureaucratic setback, Chips remained a legend among the men he served with. His reputation even reached the highest ranks when he nipped at General Dwight D. Eisenhower's hand during a meeting, reminding everyone that Chips was not a pet, but a dedicated military dog whose loyalty was tied to duty, not affection. His story highlights both the heroism of animals in combat and the struggles institutions face in recognizing non-human contributions. While his medals were stripped away, Chips's valor and courage remain immortal, proving that true heroism doesn't require a ribbon or star to be remembered. At number 4, we meet Simon, the fearless ship's cat of HMS Amethyst, whose bravery during the Yangtze incident in 1949 turned him into one of history's most decorated felines. Discovered as a malnourished stray on the docks of Hong Kong, Simon was smuggled aboard the British frigate by a kind sailor. What started as companionship soon became a crucial role, as Simon proved an exceptional rat catcher, keeping food stores safe from infestation. But his real test came when the People's Liberation Army ambushed the ship during the Chinese Civil War. A deadly barrage killed the captain, injured dozens of sailors, and left Simon himself badly wounded with burns and shrapnel injuries. Against all odds, he survived and returned to duty while the vessel remained stranded on the Yangtze River. During this desperate time, rats threatened to consume what little food remained, and Simon relentlessly hunted them down, becoming the crew's unsung savior. His most legendary feat was killing a particularly aggressive rat nicknamed Mao Tse-tung, a menace that had been destroying precious rations. For his relentless service and unmatched morale-boosting presence, Simon was promoted to Able Sea Cat and later awarded the Dickin Medal, the animal equivalent of the Victoria Cross. Tragically, after surviving explosions, fire, and near death, Simon succumbed to a virus in quarantine upon returning to Britain. His story endures as proof that heroism isn't defined by size or species. Sometimes it takes the quiet persistence of a ship's cat to keep hope alive in the face of overwhelming odds. At number 5, soaring through history, is the incredible story of G.I. Joe, the homing pigeon who prevented one of World War II's deadliest friendly fire disasters. In October 1943, during the Italian campaign, the British 6th London Infantry made an unexpectedly swift advance and liberated the village of Calvi Vecchia from German control. The victory came faster than anticipated. A tragedy loomed. The Allies had already scheduled a heavy bombing raid on the village to clear German resistance, unaware it was now full of British troops and civilians. With radio communications down, disaster was imminent. In a desperate last resort, commanders tied a message to a small pigeon named G.I. Joe and released him into the skies. The bird's mission was a literal race against time. Fly 20 miles to the Allied airfield before the bombers took off. Defying all odds, G.I. Joe completed the journey in just 20 minutes, landing on the runway as aircraft engines roared to life. His message arrived at the final possible moment, and the airstrike was called off, saving over 1,000 Allied soldiers and countless civilians from certain death. For this astonishing act of heroism, G.I. Joe received the Dickin Medal in 1946 at the Tower of London, cementing his place as one of the most celebrated messenger pigeons of the war. His story highlights an irony of wartime history. While advanced radio and encrypted systems often failed, it was an ancient, natural messenger, a pigeon, that delivered salvation. G.I. Joe remains a timeless reminder that even the smallest of creatures can alter the course of history. At number 6, we uncover the astonishing tale of Tirpitz, the pig who defected to the Royal Navy during World War I. His journey began aboard the German light cruiser SMS Dresden, where he lived as the crew's mascot. In March 1915, the Dresden came under pursuit by the British, was ultimately scuttled to prevent capture. As chaos unfolded, the crew abandoned ship, but Tirpitz remarkably leapt into the ocean and swam for his life. He was spotted struggling in the waves by sailors of the British cruiser HMS Glasgow, and one brave sailor risked his life to dive in and rescue the terrified pig. Adopted by the crew, the animal was humorously Tirpitz, after Admiral Alfred von Tirpitz, the German naval commander. As a running joke, the sailors even awarded their porcine mascot Iron Cross, declaring he had shown more loyalty to his ship than the human crew who fled. Tirpitz became a beloved presence of the Glasgow for over a year before Whale Island Gunnery School, Yet his story didn't end at sea. After the war, he was auctioned, raising the incredible sum of £1,785 for the British Red Cross, a fortune at the time. In a final twist of fate, his mounted head was donated to the Imperial War Museum in London, where it remains on display as a curious relic of naval history. Tirpitz's bizarre but inspiring journey transformed him from a German mascot into a British fundraising hero, proving that even a pig could become a symbol of resilience, humor, and unexpected victory. Number 7. We discover the remarkable tale of Smokey, the pint-sized Yorkshire Terrier who became one of the most unlikely heroes of the Pacific Theater in World War II. Found in an abandoned foxhole in New Guinea in 1944, the tiny dog weighed barely 4 pounds, yet her courage outweighed that of soldiers many times her size. Purchased by Corporal William A. Wynne, Smokey accompanied her handler across the Pacific Front, flying on 12 combat missions, enduring 150 air raids, and earning 8 battle stars. Her keen instincts once saved Wynne's life aboard a transport ship when she alerted him to incoming fire just moments before shells exploded, injuring soldiers nearby. But her most legendary act of service came during the Battle of Luzon in the Philippines, when engineers faced a seemingly impossible challenge: running a telegraph wire through a 70-foot, 8-inch-wide pipe beneath an active airfield. The task would have taken men days and exposed them to heavy enemy fire. Smokey, tied to the cable, scurried through the narrow pipe and emerged victorious on the other side, completing the mission in minutes and saving countless lives. Beyond her battlefield bravery, Smokey became the world's first documented therapy dog, visiting injured soldiers in hospitals and bringing comfort in times of despair. Unlike many war animals, Smokey survived the conflict and lived a long, happy life. Celebrated as both a war heroine and a pioneer in animal-assisted therapy, her story proves that even the smallest of creatures can carry the weight of history, reminding us that heroism comes not in size, but in spirit. At number 8, we encounter the astonishing saga of Jackie, the baboon who officially served with South African troops during World War I. Adopted by farmer Albert Marr, Jackie was more than just a pet, he was family. When Marr was drafted into the 3rd South African Infantry Regiment in 1915, he refused to leave Jackie behind, and to the surprise of all, military authorities allowed the baboon to enlist. Jackie received his own uniform, pay book, rations, and rank, quickly adapting to life as a soldier. He saluted officers, stood at ease, and even ate with a knife and fork. But Jackie's true value lay beyond amusement. His exceptional eyesight and sharp hearing made him an unmatched sentry, warning his comrades of enemy movement long before human senses could detect danger. His alerts saved lives on multiple occasions. In 1918, Jackie paid the ultimate price for his service when shrapnel struck his leg during combat. Surgeons were forced to amputate, and yet, against all odds, the baboon survived both the operation and the trauma. For his loyalty and bravery, Jackie was promoted to corporal and awarded a medal, honors usually reserved for human soldiers. His comrades saw him not as a mascot, but as a peer who had endured the same hardships and sacrifices. Jackie's service blurs the line between man and animal, reminding us that loyalty and courage are universal traits that can bind species together in times of unimaginable struggle. At number 9, we shine a light on Irma, the German shepherd who became a lifeline for Londoners during the Blitz of World War II. Serving with the Civil Defense Services alongside her handler, Mrs. Margaret Griffin, Irma was specially trained as a search and rescue dog, tasked with locating survivors in bombed-out ruins. What set her apart was a rare ability. She could distinguish whether trapped victims were alive or dead by the tone of her bark, a skill that revolutionized rescue efforts. During one mission, rescuers were about to abandon efforts on a presumed corpse when Irma insisted with her alive signal. They dug deeper and uncovered a man who eventually regained consciousness, proving her uncanny accuracy. In another desperate case, she refused to leave the site of 2 missing girls, persisting until both were found alive after being buried for 2 days. Working tirelessly alongside her companion dog Psyche, Irma helped locate 233 people, with 21 lives saved directly thanks to her determination. Her devotion did not waver, even under the constant threat of fresh air raids and collapsing buildings. For her extraordinary courage, Irma was awarded the Dickin Medal in 1945, Britain's highest honor for animal bravery. Her story captures the resilience of the home front, showing that heroism isn't confined to battlefields. Sometimes it is a dog's unwavering loyalty and persistence that brings hope to people trapped in despair. Finally, at number 10, we close our list with the breathtaking story of Rifleman Khan, a German shepherd whose act of loyalty during World War II remains one of the most moving tales of animal heroism. Serving with the 6th Battalion Cameronians, Khan was trained as a war dog, but his defining moment came on November 2, 1944, during the assault on Walcheren Island in the Netherlands. As his landing craft approached the shore, it came under intense enemy shell fire and capsized, throwing both Khan and his handler, Lance Corporal Jimmy Muldoon, into the freezing water. Khan, a strong swimmer, managed to fight his way to land and reach safety, but hearing Muldoon's desperate cries as he sank beneath the waves, burdened by heavy gear, Khan made a fateful decision. Ignoring his own safety, he plunged back into the icy sea, swam 200 yards through chaos and gunfire, and seized Muldoon by the collar of his uniform. With incredible determination, Khan dragged his drowning handler back to shore, saving his life. For this act of sheer selflessness under fire, Khan was awarded the Dickin Medal in March 1945, a recognition of his courage and the profound bond between dog and soldier. More than a story of survival, Khan's sacrifice embodies the essence of loyalty, proving that even in the hell of war, love and devotion can triumph. His legacy endures as a symbol of the unbreakable trust between humans and their animal companions. The stories of these 10 animal heroes are not just curiosities of history. They are timeless reminders of loyalty, sacrifice, and courage that transcend species. From bears that carried ammunition to dogs that braved fire and water, their actions reshaped battles and touched countless lives. These forgotten companions prove that even in humanity's darkest hours, bravery can come from the most unlikely allies. If you enjoyed this journey through history's unsung animal heroes, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible stories. Thanks for watching.